Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword. MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there. Not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.
Shabbat Shalawam, everyone, and Barakatha. I greet you in the name of Ahayah, Bahashem, Yashaya, Rawach. Welcome again to the Crystal Jones Show. It's the show that's all about balance. Let me tell you how you could watch my show. You could watch me every Saturday from 7 to 8 p.m. on BronxNet.tv, cable channels 951 and 2137. All right. You could also catch me on YouTube. Always, you can go to my YouTube channel and Facebook. On my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my channel and share and comment on my videos. Also, you can check me out on Instagram and HebrewConnect.tv. On Instagram, I have an inspirational page, so you can check that out. Okay. Thank you all for joining in and welcome to the show. It's the show that's all about life's balance. Normally, when you see the show, will be a Saturday, so that's why I say Shabbat Shalom, because it's our Sabbath on Saturday, okay? So now we're going to go to the scripture of today, Romans, the 9th chapter, the 10th through the 16th verse. As you know, I've been teaching on Esau and Jacob, which is the struggle that's going on right now in the earth, which went on hundreds of years ago. And so what was before is always coming again, right? So now we're going to go to Romans, the 9th chapter, the 10th through the 16th verse. And it says, and not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, right? Rebekah was Esau and Jacob's mother, and her husband was Isaac, Abraham's son, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. So remember, Esau and Jacob were twins. Esau was the oldest and Jacob was the youngest. But according to God's will, the older would serve the younger, right? So it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And when people see that, they're like, God hated Esau. He hated Esau's ways because his ways were not godly. They were not of the Lord. Esau always sought to stalk and kill and take away from people. So he wasn't accepted with the Lord. And when he would give his offering to the Lord, he always gave God the bare minimum. Whereas Jacob would always give God plenty. He would always serve the Lord, right? So people will say, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? But God forbid, right? For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion, because God knows what's in us. He knows who we are. So even when people around us don't know, right? So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy. Because sometimes people may seem as if they're serving the Lord, but then eventually you'll see what comes up that really shows that, not that people don't make mistakes, but sometimes you'll regularly find people that have an attitude towards God and his people that are wrong. So eventually you'll kind of see things, why they are the way they are, right? Okay, so now we're going to go to today's news, all right? And so today's news, we're going to talk about inclement weather challenges, because as of today, by the time you see this show, it may not be snowing, but today it is snowing, all right? It's a blizzard out here. It's really bad, okay? So we want to say to you, be cautious when, just even thinking about traveling. Sometimes you need to stay indoors. Don't go outside when you see they don't have any buses out there. You have no other way of really getting to where you need to get to. Cars are skidding on the road. Okay, be cautious. Stay home. Stay home. All right. Maybe you need to call in and work remote or something. If unless you have to be out there, don't go out there. Remember, we're getting ready to go through some snowy times. The month of February is coming up. We don't know what that's going to bring. March, we're in the snowy season. So be careful, especially those of us who are a little older. You don't need to be out there slipping and sliding to catch the bus. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't need to go into work, don't go. I'm not trying to get you in trouble or nothing, but it's better you stay home than you fall down and slide and break your hip or something, and then you're out for months. Okay? They can get along without you for the 1 day, 1 or 2 days. All right? So be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Don't go in, stay home. All right. Now, the next tip we're going to give you is a business tip, which is this: fulfill your promises. If you promised you was going to have a sale, don't come up with no story when people, come to your store or your website or whatever, and you're like, well, I was just talking. I wasn't sure. No, fulfill your promises. If you, promise somebody you're going to give them a discount on something because maybe they bought a product that really didn't work out for them, don't pretend like you forgot or something like that. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Fulfill your promises. Whatever you promise to your customers, come through with it. Just like you do in everyday life with your family, your kids, whatever. As a business owner, come through with your promises. All right? Okay. So what we are going to do now is we are going to cover our video we're going to go to. We're going to go to 10 young Black entrepreneurs and millennials. A lot of them you've seen before on my show. But I have a summary of all of them together because I want to continue to encourage our youth. You too can be an entrepreneur. I don't care if you're 2 years old. Okay, if you have an idea, which a lot of our young people do, a lot of our young people are really coming through with a lot of ideas. And I want you to be encouraged when you see these young entrepreneurs. This film was put together about a little while ago, but these young entrepreneurs are still doing it. Some of them are millionaires and billionaires now. Okay, so you too, I don't care if you 1 year old, 2 years old, whatever. Come on, Yashaya, we got to get going, continue. I mean, we've been moving, but you know what I'm saying? Let's get our young people moving. All right. So let's watch the video.
Hello and welcome back. In today's Black XLS presentation, we will highlight 10 African-American kid entrepreneurs.
Welcome to blackexcellist.com, the site where we celebrate Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
Young business owners are among the most driven and revolutionary leaders today. Competing against established, innovative, and growing companies force you to think creatively and remain passionate about your product or service. These young, successful Black entrepreneurs have many traits in common. But the most important one is that they believe in themselves. They receive support from their parents, family, friends, or even strangers. But they started with an idea. These young entrepreneurs took a chance. They drafted a business plan, then they strategized and executed their plan. Keep an eye on these game-changing, enterprising kids as they continue to make waves in the business world. We here at Black XLS salute all of these kidpreneurs, and we recognize their courage and persistence. In this original Black XLS video, we will be featuring 10 African-American kid entrepreneurs. If you have children or students who are expressing interest in entrepreneurship, this is a must-see. But without further ado, let's get started. Michaela Almer, 13, Me and the Bee's Lemonade. An entrepreneur and bee ambassador, Michaela Almer created a product that combined her great-grandmother's flaxseed recipes and her passion into what she named Bee Sweet Lemonade. Michaela's lemonade is sweetened with honey from local bees, with a percentage of the profits donated to organizations fighting to save honeybees. The world first learned of Michaela at just 10 years old, when she fearlessly entered ABC's show Shark Tank and secured a sweet deal with investor Daymond John. When she was only 11 years old, the ambitious entrepreneur made an $11 million deal with Whole Foods Market, the chain of high-end grocery stores, to carry her homemade lemonade in more than 55 stores. Mosiah Mo Bridges, 16. Mo's Bows. Unsatisfied with the limited bow tie designs, Mosiah Bridges asked his grandmother to help him create new designs out of material he hand-selected. The need for bow ties that appealed to a younger generation would eventually result in Mosiah starting his own business called Mo's Bows. He would eventually pitch his idea to the Shark Tank, where Daymond John agreed to be a mentor. In 2017, the NBA inked a 7-figure sponsorship deal with the young Memphis entrepreneur, giving his company the right to produce bow ties for all 30 NBA teams. Haley Thomas, 17. Happy. Healthy, active, positive, purposeful youth. When Haley Thomas was 8, her dad was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, but she and her mom were determined to help him beat the disease without drugs. The family dove into the latest nutrition research and began transforming their eating habits. This inspired Haley to educate kids about nutrition. Thus, she founded her own nonprofit, the Happy Organization, standing for Healthy, Active, Positive, Purposeful Youth. Happy aims to improve the health and wellness of children by implementing programs that teach kids how to cook nutritious meals and promote physical activity. Asia Newson, 14. Super Business Girl. Asia Newson, also known as Super Business Girl, started her candle business when she was just 5 years old, but she has now expanded into a full-fledged empire. As one of the youngest entrepreneurs in Detroit, she would eventually gain worldwide recognition when ABC's 2020 cameras caught her selling her candles on the street. Today, she has expanded her brand to offer more products. But more importantly, she has trained over 40 other young kids in Detroit to be entrepreneurs, thus creating power and possibility across a whole community. Maya Penn. Maya's Ideas. Maya Penn is a successful 16-year-old award-winning eco-designer, artist, philanthropist, activist, entrepreneur, animated filmmaker, coder, illustrator, writer, and author who wants to change the world. Using her art and her business to help the planet and encourage girls to get involved in tech, the young CEO created an eco-friendly clothing and accessories line called Maya's Ideas. Maya has been featured in countless media outlets such as Forbes, Cosmopolitan, Essence Magazine, CBS This Morning, Entrepreneur Magazine, Black Enterprise, and has been chosen by Oprah Winfrey as one of her Super Soul 100 influencers.
If you love our videos and have a suggestion for a future edition, let us hear from you in the comments section below.
Marley Diaz, 13. Hashtag 1000 Black Girl Books. Marley Diaz launched hashtag 1000 Black Girl Books to collect and donate 1,000 books in which Black girls are the main characters. Marley loves reading, but understood that there is a bigger appeal for Black girls to pick up a book that contains relatable characters. As a result of her very successful book drive, Marley was invited to create her own online publication, Marley's Mag, for Elle Magazine's online site. Even more impressive, Marley was just placed on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list and is the youngest person on their 2018 list. Jalen Bledsoe, 19. Bledsoe Technologies. Jalen Bledsoe is a millionaire and credits a technology program for gifted third graders at his St. Louis school for his remarkable success. While in the 6th grade, Bledsoe taught himself web design after taking a yearbook design class. At age 12, he started an IT consulting company with just $100. Today, Jalen's company is valued at more than $3.5 million. Essence Moore, 17. Essence Couture. Black teenager, entrepreneur, and author Essence Moore released the Middle School's Chronicles book series aimed to help prepare younger students for middle school while tackling bullying, low self-esteem, and challenges of adolescence. The tween is the owner of several businesses that include motivational speaking, acting, and fashion. After the successful launch of her clothing line, she added a natural body product line named Wink. However, the salon offers more than just manis and pedis. Essence also hosts workshops there that teach children about entrepreneurship, self-esteem, and real-life experiences. Zandra Cunningham. Zandra Beauty. Zandra Cunningham started an all-natural skincare company when she was just 9 years old. Using a small loan of $500, Zandra turned her hobby into a commercially viable enterprise worth over $500,000. Zandra Beauty now offers over 40 products including artisan soaps, body scrubs, body wash, and hand and body lotion. Zandra leverages her success to encourage youth entrepreneurs and empower young African American girls. She has also committed to donating 10% of all net profits to support girls' education. Zandra's hope is to inspire youth to take action and make things happen for themselves and their communities. Corey Nieves, Mr. Corey's Cookies. Corey Nieves always dreamed of making the world better. That passion, combined with a love of treats and an entrepreneurial spirit, led him to start his own business at the age of 6 years old, called Mr. Corey's Cookies. From his tiny home kitchen, Nieves thrived to the point where his operations graduated into a commercial space. Corey and his cookies business was featured on a special episode of CNBC's The Prophet, as well as The Ellen Show. These days, he sells up to 1,000 cookies a weekend, and he's currently looking to expand his brand into fashion.
All right. I'm so proud of these young people. I thank God for them. I would love to see them continue in what they're doing, and they are. Like I said, this particular video, I think it's like a 2 to 3 years old or something like that. But I've been showing up to date within the past year. Some of them that you saw today, I did them one by one. But to see all of them, where they started and everything like that. But I want our young people to continue to do that, because people need to understand and see. We came from greatness, y'all. When we were in our own land, we did our own thing, all right? And after that, we even ruled over Europe for almost 1,000 years and taught many different things. The Moors are our people. Most of the Moors were Israelites, all right? We taught the people in Europe about bathing and many different things that, that they do now. There are a lot of different things that they were taught by our people. All right. And remember, even when we came here, okay, we, were the ones that went in the fields and knew how to grow crops and things like that. That was not the white man. That was us. And that, some of that is why they brought us over here in slavery, so that we could, grow their crops and make the land successful. We're the ones that built the White House and the Capitol, and so many different things we've done here. Invented the internet. So many different things. Y'all know Black History Month. Usually I go with all of these different inventions that we have. And so many of these things that in the beginning we weren't able to patent because we were Black. But we want our people to see that we're a great people, and we will continue to be great. And I would love to see these young people even be able to go to some of the prisons and encourage our young men in there. We didn't come from this, y'all. We come from greatness. So time for y'all to arise and get out of here, out of this place. Because if some of the things that they're in prison for, if they could devise those things, they could devise their own businesses that are profitable and lawful, so that our young people and adults in prison, maybe they never even thought about that, because some of them have been thrown away because they haven't even committed crimes, really. They were accused of something or were a part of somebody's quota. And so they've spent years in jail and not even known what greatness is lying in them. So I want you to be encouraged by seeing our youth, that you too can, rise above poverty, because that's not the way we started out. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were rich. Okay, they were rich in cattle and land. They had money and everything. All right. So we want to continue to see the greatness of our people arise. All right. So now we're going to cover, of course, and sadly, our missing youth. Today we have our missing youth, Sarai Jordan. I think I spelled her name wrong. I'm so sorry. I think I spelled her name wrong, but I think her name is Sarai. Sarai Jordan. Okay. She is missing from Brooklyn, New York. Okay. She's been missing since January 24th of this year. All right. She's missing from Brooklyn, New York. She's 14 years old. She's a black female. Her hair color is black. Her eye color is brown. She's about 5 feet 4 inches and weighs about 175 pounds. She was last seen January 24th of this year, 22. If you see her, please report it to the local police department and or missingkids.org. All right. The next one we have is Crystal Fuentes. All right. She is missing from Rochester, New York. She's been missing since January 14th of this year, 22. All right. She's 16 years old, female, Hispanic, brown hair color, brown eyes. Her height is 5'1" and her weight is about 125 pounds. If you see Crystal Fuentes, again, report it to missingkids.org and or your local police department. Let's get these young people back home to their families. All right. Now, what we're going to do, I already did the business and the health tips. All right. We are going to do our credo, which is Shema Yasharala, Ahayah Alahayah Nawa, Ahayah Echad. The Lord, listen, Israel, the Lord is our God. The Lord our God, he is one. All right. So we're going to continue the teaching on Esau and Jacob. I want you to get an understanding of what went on between the two brothers and how once they separated, the different nations that were formed. We who are here in America that are black, they call us African Americans and all this. We are Hebrew Israelites, okay? And we became Israelites through Jacob. Now, we were one time, along with Esau, we were Hebrew people. Esau became more of the white nation because he went to the Canaanites, and then from there, his people furthered out in Europe and whatnot. So you have the two brothers, Esau and Jacob. They were always at odds. Esau was a cunning hunter. He sold his birthright to Jacob. But even before that, when they were in the womb, the Lord told their mother that they were two nations of people. All right. And that the older one, who was Esau, would eventually serve the younger one, which will happen in the future. That's going to happen because once Christ returns, and we who are Israelites, okay, Christ was an Israelite, right? We are going to be with Christ in Jerusalem because we're in charge of bringing the nations back to the full worship of the Lord. That's all. We're not trying to be better than anybody, anything like that. That's our ministry. We're in ministry through Christ to bring people back to the full knowledge and worship of the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord our God, who created every man. All right. So we're watching what's going on in the earth now. This way of living in this kingdom setup, as you can see, it's on its way. It's imploding. It's going down. As one nation goes down, always another nation arises. Okay, the Bible talks about Esau is the end of this world as we know it, and Jacob is the beginning of the next. That will be the millennial reign when Christ returns to the earth. But it's thy kingdom come, thy will be done is advancing on the earth now. One nation is going out, and another nation is coming forward. Not to be mean and nasty or try to put people in slavery. We're not going to do that. We're going to show how we're supposed to love each other, how we're supposed to love our brothers. Even Esau, the white nation of people that will be in the remnant. We're going to show them how to love because, no, they should have never treated us like that. I saw a video with even a woman in South Africa. There's a there's a area there where a lot of white people are in poverty now. And they're even saying it's because of how we treated the black people. It's because of the things we did to them. And this is why we're suffering that. I'm even seeing that in this nation. I never before saw, white people begging for food and stuff like that right here in New York, right here down in Grand Central, different places. You see them asking for food. And I've never seen that before. Not to those numbers. There's a lot, it's a lot going on, and it's of biblical proportion. And I don't rejoice over seeing that. That's not something that I want. I don't want it for my own people. When I see my people in the streets and stuff like that. No, it's not about me hating any nation of people. It's not. Okay. So we don't get any joy out of people doing bad, and we're not here to, preach or teach hatred or racism or anything like that. But God has an order. All right. And he chose us to bring the people back to order, back to the worship and the servitude of the Lord God Almighty. That's it. That's all, So I want to show you how even in the family of the Lord, when Esau was following as much as what he, tried to do, I guess, when he was so-called following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord to some degree, even his grandfather Abraham didn't really care for him. So he saw that Esau was not going to bring joy to his family. He saw that Esau was not right. So we're gonna go from Jubilees instead of Jasher. Right now, I'm gonna go to Jubilees, the 19th chapter. All right. So if you could put that up, Jubilees, the 19th chapter, and we're gonna start from about the 12th verse. Last week I was telling you about again how Esau again began to blame the fact that he was saying that Jacob had stolen his birthright, when their father was on their sickbed and all of that. But he wasn't telling the truth about how he had even sold his birthright to Jacob. But he thought he was going to be slick and get away with it. When the father was on the deathbed, he thought the father was going to pronounce the blessing on him. But the father pronounced the blessing on Jacob because their mother saw that something was up, because she knew how Esau was. She knew that he was very cunning. All right. So now we see here, even their grandfather Abraham didn't really care for him. Right. So now we see that in I'm going to move on down a little bit, 19 to 12. Okay. I'm going to go to Jubilees 19, but I'll be in the 16th verse. All right. But still part of it. Right. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called, because Abraham knew about the prophecy that was given to their mother when they were in their mother's womb, Esau and Jacob. He knew that Esau was not after the ways of God, but he knew that Jacob would be. So Abraham saw the deeds of Esau. He saw how slick and cunning Esau was. Esau killed Nimrod and all that kind of stuff. He was always trying to stalk people and kind of like what you see now with, the brutality that goes on between Esau and Jacob in the streets. A lot of time they're prowling after our people to kill them for no reason at all. That's an Esau and Jacob thing, right? So Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called. And he called Rebekah and gave commandment regarding Jacob, right? Their mother was Jacob. I said Rebekah. Rebekah is Isaac's wife. So Rebekah would be their grandmother, but Rachel was their mother, right? I'm sorry, Rebecca. Rebecca was their mother. I get Rebecca and Rachel kind of mixed up. All right. So Rebecca was their mother. So he called Rebecca and gave commandment regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob more than she had loved Esau. Why? She loved his ways. And he said unto her, my daughter, watch over my son Jacob. So he's calling Jacob his son, when Isaac, Jacob's father, was really his son. But he knew that in Jacob, because remember, Jacob was later called Israel, all right, whom we're Jacob's children, the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, and we're just one of the tribes, the black, black people that are here in America, the Israelites. Israelites were always black people. They were never white. If you notice, the white people call themselves Israelis or Jewish. And some of them are bloodline related to Esau, but the majority of them are Khazarians. They're from like Russia and Turkey, that area. They are converted Jews. All right. So he said, watch over my son Jacob, for he shall be in my stead in the earth. He didn't even say Isaac would be in his stead. He said Jacob will be in his stead in the earth, and for a blessing in the midst of the children of men, and for the glory of the whole seed of Shem. Remember when Noah came off of that ark, all right, with his 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. The Hamites are the Africans, all right? They're Hamites. That's where Nimrod came from. And they try to group us into that group of people. Now, when we fled in 70 AD from Israel, and we had to flee into the areas of Africa because we looked like them, so we could blend in with them. And because of that, of course, I'm sure many marriages happened. For my people, I know some of my people are Igbos and Yorubas. Igbo meant Hebrew. That's the word that the Africans gave us for Hebrews. That's their word for Hebrew. Igbos are Hebrew people. So we know by that the Igbos came from Jerusalem. We originally came from Jerusalem, but we mixed in with the Africans because after we lost the war against the Romans, then we had to flee because we got put out of the land, right? And then eventually you see the Khazarians that came and took over in 1942 and all of that and called themselves a nation and everything like that. But they are not the Israelites. That land was promised to us. So they will never have peace there. That will never happen because you can't, put yourself in prophecy where God did not put you. But it was in prophecy that would happen, that they would, he said, I know them that say they're Jews, but are not. So in the book of Revelation, it tells you about, people that would be posing as us, right? So now he said that for a blessing in the midst of the children of men and for the glory of the whole seed of Shem. Hamites are the Africans. Shemites are us. We are from Shem. Shem is the father of the dark-skinned races like the Egyptians, some of the Arabs, not the Negroes. If you look in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it tells you the Negroes are under Shem. And who are the Negroes? The Negroes are the 12 tribes. Judah. We are the black people here in America. All right. Reuben, the black Australians. Gad, North American Indians. Asher, the Brazilian people, the black Brazilians, the Colombians, that area. Naphtali, the Isles of Hawaii, the Pacific Islands, the Filipinos, the Vietnamese. Manasseh, the Cubans. Simeon, the Dominican Republic. Levi, the Haitians. Issachar, the Mexicans. Zebulun, Costa Rica and Panama. Ephraim, Puerto Rico. All right, the black Puerto Ricans. Benjamin, the West Indians. Right? So it says, for I know that the Lord will choose him to be a people for possession unto himself, So we are chosen as a people, the 12 tribes. We're chosen as a people of possession unto the Lord. We're the only group of people that don't really have a direct angel over our nation. Now, all the other nations are under angel, but a lot of those nations follow fallen angels. But we report direct to the Lord God, right? Christ is our mediator, all right? He is the one who, when we pray to the Father, he intercedes for us. So we don't got to go to no statues and all that kind of stuff. The other nations were tricked into that type of thing. And some of our people were too. That's why you see people bowing down to statues and stuff like that. That's not what we're supposed to do. So now, for I know that the Lord would choose him to be a people for possession unto himself above all peoples that are upon the face of the earth. Does that mean we're better than everybody? No. But the Lord chose us for that specific reason. That's all that means, right? And behold, Isaac, my son, loves Esau more than Jacob. So Esau was favorable of Jacob because, why? Because Esau was a hunter. He brought him venison and, that type of thing. So they kind of got along with that. They vibed together. Okay. But Abraham said, I see that you truly love Jacob, right? So his mother loved his ways. And still further to thy kindness to him. All right. So Abraham is saying, further your kindness to him, groom him in the ways of the Lord, and let thine eyes be upon him in love, for he shall be a blessing unto us on the earth from henceforth unto all generations of the earth. Let thy hands be strong, and let thy heart rejoice in thy son Jacob, for I have loved him far above all my sons. Abraham had a lot of different sons. We only know about Isaac, but Abraham had other sons, because remember, those people were trying to create a nation. So Isaac's mother died, and of course Abraham had other wives. So he had, and even before that, when Sarah thought that she couldn't have children, she gave her handmaid to Abraham so that she thought that that's how she would have a child. But it turns out Ishmael, who is over the, he's basically the Arab people, the people who are what you call Muslims and stuff like that, right? But the Lord said, no, and the seed of Isaac will I bless. So even though he had other sons, the line that would be blessed would be through Isaac, and Isaac had Jacob and Esau, right? But through Jacob would that line be blessed, right? So he said, I have loved Jacob far beyond all my sons, right? So Jacob is Abraham's grandson, but he loves Jacob far beyond all his other sons, because Jacob's ways please the Lord. He shall be blessed forever, and his seed shall fill the whole earth. There's not a place where we're not. There's not a place where we're not. We're everywhere, and everywhere we are, we're influential. You got Asian people that want to dress like us, that, they carry in their shops, they carry the do-rags and whatnot. Our people go there and buy the stuff that we like to wear, and the things that, whether it's jewelry or whatever, they'll get it. You know what I'm saying? So that we could buy from them, right? We're influential. If we roll up our sleeves today, that's going to be the style. They look to us for the style, how to sing. We don't just sing straight. We got to have, we got to quiver and waver in our song, right? If the song goes straight, like, oh, how I love Yashaya, which is Jesus, right? We got to come with, oh, we got to, make it, how I love Yashaya. We got to come with all this, we got to make it smooth, right? Because that's how God has blessed us. We are the singers. We are the best athletes, right? The Lord has blessed us, right? That's just a part of what he put in our DNA, that, we're blessed with a lot of different things. If you wear something, people gonna wear it. If our guys wear something, they like it, right? I don't know. It's just the blessing of the Lord, right? So he's saying to Jacob's mother, let your hands be strong, let your heart rejoice. For I've loved him far beyond my sons. He shall be blessed forever, and his seed shall fill the whole earth. If a man can number the sand of the earth, his seed also shall be numbered, right? So, and all the blessings wherewith the Lord hath blessed me and my seed shall belong to Jacob and his seed always. So we are the seed of Jacob. And you see these young entrepreneurs coming up. Our people are rising out of the dust, out of the dirt. They're starting to realize that we had a past before slavery. Our past didn't start with slavery, but we were lied to. See, because if you're going to enslave people, that you're going to tell them, oh, y'all, before here, y'all was swinging on trees in the jungle, which is a lie. All right. We had great nations. We were great nations of people. We were kings. We were queens. We ruled Europe at one time, right? While the white Europeans were in the Caucasus Mountains. So they rewrote history to lie on us, to keep us in servitude, but it did not work, right? So he says, and in his seed shall my name be blessed, in the name of my fathers, Shem and Noab and Enoch and Mahalalel and Enos and Seth and Adam. So he's saying all of the generations back to Adam, right? Shall Abraham's name be blessed, through Jacob, right? And these shall serve to lay the foundations of the heaven and to strengthen the earth and to renew all the luminaries which are in the firmament. That's another area, the luminaries, right? So, and he called Jacob before the eyes of Rebekah, his mother, and kissed him and blessed him and said, Jacob, my beloved son, whom my soul loveth, may God bless thee from above the firmament. Because remember, at this point, Abraham was about to die. He said to Jacob, he said, may God bless thee above the firmament, and may he give thee all the blessings wherewith he blessed Adam and Enoch and Noah and Shem, and all the things of which he told me, and all the things which he promised to give me. May he cause to cleave to thee and to thy seed forever, according to the days of heaven above the earth. And may the Lord God be a father to thee, and thou and the firstborn son, and to the people always. Go in peace, my son. And they both went forth together from Abraham, right? And Rebekah loved Jacob with all her heart and all her soul, very much more than Esau. But Isaac loved Esau much more than Jacob. And it's always that way in a household, right? Usually one kid is loved more than the other, right? So now if we go into the 20th chapter, right, it talks about how Abraham admonishes his sons to work righteousness and to observe circumcision and refrain from impurity and idolatry, right? So now if we go down to, I believe, the 21st chapter, it talks about how Abraham's last words to Isaac. Okay, so before Abraham died, he warned Isaac about idolatry and all of that kind of stuff, right? So then we go to where we at here, Jubilees 20, the 22nd chapter. If we go to the 10th verse, right? Let's move on down to the 10th verse to talk about. And he called Jacob and said, my son Jacob, this is Abraham again. May the God of all, hold on one second. Let me just make sure. Right. Okay. So now we have Abraham blessing Jacob again. He said, he called Jacob and said, my son Jacob, may the God of all bless thee and strengthen thee to do righteousness and his will before him. And may he choose thee and thy seed, that ye may become a people for his inheritance according to his will always. And do thou, my son Jacob, draw near and kiss me. And he drew near and kissed him. And he said, blessed be my son Jacob, and all the sons of God Most High unto all the ages. May God give unto thee a seed of righteousness. This was prayed over us. Our forefather Abraham prayed this over us through our forefather Jacob, right? May God give unto thee a seed of righteousness, and some of thy sons may he sanctify in the midst of the whole earth. May nations serve thee, and all the nations bow themselves before thy seed, right? So he said, blessed be my son Jacob, and all the sons of God the Most High unto all nations. May God give unto thee a seed of righteousness. Now, some of his sons, he's saying, because some of the sons did not obey the Lord. So the ones that didn't obey, okay, like Reuben, he really got cursed because of what he did. He, decided to sleep with one of his father's wives or some crazy stuff like that, right? So he, up to this day, that tribe has problems with like alcohol and stuff like that. All right. So now he's telling Jacob, be strong in the presence of men and exercise authority over all the seed of Seth. Then thy ways and the ways of thy sons will be justified, so that they shall become a holy nation. In other words, Seth's nation of people, remember, Seth was born instead of when Adam and Eve, had their children, right? Remember, they had Cain and Abel, and Cain had killed Abel, so Abel had died, so they had Seth, which is instead of. All right, so Seth took what would be the place of Abel, right? So he's saying to Jacob again, be strong in the presence of men, exercise authority over all the seed of Seth. So get Seth into right alignment where they should be. Then thy ways and the ways of thy sons will be justified, so that they shall become a holy nation. So there was problems going on with Seth, because Seth, even though he was chosen instead of Abel when Abel died, apparently his people was going off track. So Abraham is telling Jacob, get those people together. Those are your people, get them together. May the Most High God give thee all the blessings wherewith he has blessed me, and wherewith he blessed Noah and Adam. May they rest on the sacred head of thy seed from generation to generation forever. So all of us of the 12 tribes, we have these blessings upon us for generation to generation. We got to tap into them. And may he cleanse thee from all unrighteousness and impurity, that you may be forgiven all the transgressions which you have committed ignorantly, because some things we've done ignorantly. And may he strengthen thee and bless thee, and mayest thou inherit the whole earth. So the earth is ours to inherit. And this is why we are going to see so many things happening in the earth on our account, because we have to be in place, all right, for Christ to rule. Christ is coming back to rule as governor of the earth, all right? And he ain't going to be having the voting rights and all. He ain't going to be asking people to vote for him. Is you crazy? No, it's not going to be like that. He is coming back. He's going to plant his feet back on the Mount of Olives, just like when he ascended. They said, this same Jesus that you see being taken away from you, when, remember, Christ was crucified, he died, he went into the earth parts to take back the keys of death and hell, and to preach to the souls that will believe in him, so that when he comes back, they will be resurrected. So after he went and preached to the souls in hell, he ascended on high. And when he ascended, he led captivity captive, and he gave gifts to men. All right. So the saint, remember, they were looking as he went up into heaven, and the angel said, why are you standing there gazing? This same Jesus that you see going into heaven, he's going to come back in like manner. The same way he went up, he's coming back. And when he comes back and he lands on the Mount of Olives, they're going to be seeing a black Messiah. They're not going to be, and they know it. They know it. They thought we weren't going to find out. And it doesn't make, sure, the coloring didn't make a difference, but they made it make a difference. All right. To make us feel inferior. But if you're on the Lord's side and your heart is for the Lord, you will be saved. You will make it. If you listen to the laws, statutes, and commandments, and you obey the ways of the Lord, and, you know, we all come together, then you will be saved. All right. Because a lot of our people are going to be lost too, because they're so used to hearing lies and trickery that they're going to be deceived by these nations. And they're going to go on with whatever these people tell them, the different things that are going on. They creating stuff to put inside of people so that they can control them and all kind of stuff like that. You can't go for the garbage that they're trying to dish out there, because they know that their time is short, because they know that Christ is returning. Even if they try to pretend like, well, we don't believe it. Then why is the Bible the #1 book in the world? Why do people always buy that book? And why are all of the different religions based on stuff out of the Bible? Because the Bible was the first constructed, real religious, so to speak, book that put together the prophecies in the earth. I mean, from, you know, that were prophesied to us from a long time ago. And a lot of those prophecies have already come to pass. There's only a few that haven't. So a lot of these religions base their beliefs and things like that on the Bible. And the original Bible had the Apocrypha in it. You know, the books that I'm reading to you now, right? The Jubilees and Yashaya and stuff like that. So now you have him, and do thou, my son Jacob, remember my words and observe the commandments of Abraham thy father. Separate thyself from the nations and eat not with them, and do not according to their works. What works are theirs? Instead of the holy days that we're supposed to be enjoying, like you know, the Feast of Lights and stuff like that. Instead, they got Christmas and stuff like that. That's about stealing your money from you, having you buy all these gifts and stuff like that, and claiming it's for Christ. Ain't for no Christ. That stuff that is just to take our mind off of the holy days. These are times where the angels in heaven are having communion with the Lord, and directions are being given out to God's people. It's set to, those holidays are set to set us off track so that we don't know what the will and the plan of the Lord is. Another one now coming up of our holy days is Purim, the Feast of Purim, where we were almost taken out. They almost took out all the Jews over that, the Feast of Purim, because remember, Queen Esther, who was a Hebrew, she had married a king, a Persian king, but it was for the glory of the Lord, because though they were going to wipe out all the Jews. And she used her wisdom by listening to her uncle Mordecai, her cousin rather, who informed her of how, you know, to go about turning that thing around. All right. So we do see that this same thing is, you could see a lot of things happening again where they, you know, consistently trying to take us out one way or another. But we keep seeing, Daniel saw it. All the other prophets saw it, and these were people of color, but yet they keep trying to paint over our pictures and stuff like that. But even in Russia and different places, even at the Vatican, you see they have Black Madonna and stuff like that, but they don't tell you or show you that. But they know that the people in the Bible, the first Christians were Black people. And when you read it in the book of Acts, I'm going to bring that out again. I'm going to bring that out where they were called Niger. But what happened when they got to America, we got to America in slavery, the white people who were Southerners couldn't say Niger. They say Neger. So that's where that word nigger comes from. So that, you know, that in itself tells you that the first Christians were Black. All right. So, these are the things that we're going to be going over and seeing how this thing of Esau and Jacob plays out. All right. So he was telling him, don't follow the ways of these people because it leads to a lot of pollution and damage. As we can see, you see what they're trying to show the children. They're giving them too much sexual visuals. They're allowing children to do things and dip into things that they should not be dipping into, that have sexual orientation at 5th grade and stuff like that they should not be. This is what went on when we were at war with the Romans and stuff like that. These people, these Europeans, are known for all kind of crazy sexual things that they were trying to do then and they're trying to do now. They're trying to take control of your kids. This is why I keep telling y'all, get your kids out to these schools, because you see the crazy stuff that they're doing. Stop depending on them to tell them about your history and stuff like that. They can't. All right. And they're instructing your kids to do other things and learn ways that were never meant for them to learn. All right. So I'm going to close here, and I'm going to say, continue to watch the show so that you can know what's going on. I'm going to be reading to you from the apocryphal books so that you get used to this apocrypha, because it has the whole background of stuff that happened in the 66 books. It tells you more in detail. And these are things you need to know. Share this. Let people know so that they can know what's going on in the earth now. It's the same thing that went on in the days of Noah. Just like Christ said, as in the days of Noah, so shall the son of the coming of man be. All right. So you can watch me on Saturdays from 7 to 8 p.m. You can go to bronxnet.tv, cable channels 951, 2137, the Inspired channel. All right. Go to my YouTube channel, like my channel, share. All right. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also catch me on Instagram. You could look at the inspirational quotes from the Bible, and also at HebrewConnect.tv. And so HebrewConnect.tv. Okay. So in the name of Ahayah, okay. We love you. In the name of Ahayah, Bahashem, Yashaya, Rawach, we bless you. And we want to say to you, Kwam Yasharallah, Kwam. Rise up, Israel. Be who we are. We are strong and mighty people in the Lord. We got to get back to the basics and leave this world and this foolishness behind, because all of this stuff is going to perish. And what we do for the Lord is the only thing that's going to last. We must win souls. We must preach and teach the gospel that Christ left for us to teach. All right. So I want to say to you, God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. And you, stay balanced.
Stop using church intimidation, control and manipulation. Jezebel and all them spirits, fall back, not trying to hear it. Go with Jesus, walk in peace. On your pew can sit that beast that we're fighting in the world. I'm that JC Supergirl, Jesus Christ, belt of truth, arm of God, I'm slaying you. Power of the word, two-edged sword, MC Heaven rocks for her Lord. Thought they crept in unaware, didn't see the gatekeeper standing right there. Not getting down with your tactics, undoctrinal practice.